Hey, it is Zach at River Valley Marine. Stick with me. We're going to take you through a hot subject, one that I get asked all the time. Tell me about propulsion. What do I want? Why do I want it? So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about why do you want an outboard? Why would you want an inboard? Why do we want a sterndrive? Why would we want a jet boat? There's great reasoning behind all of them, and none of them are the wrong answer, but some of them have some advantages in certain areas. So let's talk about it. So let's start by talking about outboard power. Why has outboard power become so popular, and what are the benefits to it? First of all, the outboards have become extremely reliable. Compared to boats in the 80s or 90s, or even through the early 2000s, when you still had a lot of two-strokes out there, the outboard have come a long ways. The new power plants from whether it's Mercury or Yamaha, Honda, or Suzuki, they are all so extremely reliable. The other thing is they're very quiet. These motors are so quiet when they're running. Whether you're idling or you're going fast, the new outboard product has become very quiet, so that makes it very popular. The other thing is they have become very high in horsepower. So you'll notice this is a 400 horse motor, Mercury goes up to 600 horse. The horsepower has become so large that they can move larger boats, like say this Everglades that I'm sitting on. So the outboards have become popular from those standpoints. Now, where else does an outboard have its advantages? Number one, it can go into very shallow water, because you can, like in this boat here, we have a jack plate on the back, plus you can trim the motor up and down as far as you want to, and you really just need to keep it so the water intakes are in the water and you can operate it. So you can go in much shallower water than say a true direct inboard or even a sterndrive powered boat. Another nice thing with the outboards that people like is if they're going to be in salt water. Now we're in Minnesota, we don't really have to worry too much about saltwater environments, but the one thing nice on the outboards, they drain easier and faster. You don't get water collecting in the block, but then they do have the easy flush out ports. So you can flush the engine very easily if you are in salt water. So from an outboard standpoint, the boat will perform horsepower for horsepower faster. The reliability is very, very good, especially in the modern outboards. They can go in extremely shallow water, which is very nice. And at the end of the day, they're very saltwater friendly. So a handful of advantages to what is nice about the outboard, and we're going to talk about some disadvantages, and the one that we see most often is if you are just a pleasure boater and you like to go anchor out in the lake, you want to go do water sports with your kids or grandkids, you're always having to deal with the outboard and the prop being right there. So if you just want to swim around the boat or something to that effect, the outboard can be a little cumbersome that way. Again, there's going to be pros and cons to all the different propulsions, and which propulsion fits you all determines on how you like to go boating and how you're going to use your boat. So we've looked at outboard power, let's continue on. So we talked about outboard power, now let's talk about sterndrive power. I say sterndrive, some people are going to say inboard, outboard. Not a true direct drive inboard. We are talking about a sterndrive boat, much like what we see in a lot of our Cobalts that we sell. With that, what do we have? We have the engine. It is going to be inside the boat. The physical engine is in the boat. Now, we carry Mercury and Volvo product. I can tell you firsthand, in a Cobalt boat, for example, you're getting 5 years of engine and drive warranty from either Mercury or Cobalt, or Mercury or Volvo. With that being said, they're both very, very reliable. Now, when we look at the new Volvo product, you're going to see it's all closed cooling, which is great if you're in a saltwater environment. You're also going to notice it's an all aluminum block, aluminum head, aluminum manifold motor, which is absolutely amazing because it makes it lightweight. Yet you're going to see the horsepower ratings go up to 400 plus horse. This one here has got the 350 V8, great motor. But with that, we're going to see some advantages to the exterior. But on an inboard, outboard, or a sterndrive boat, your motor is going to be mounted inside the physical boat. So as we mount the engine inside the boat, virtually underneath here, it opens up our swim platform, the sun pad area. It allows you to get on and off the boat from the dock without having the outboard engine in your way. It also allows it so we can go swimming with that lower unit or prop being tucked further underneath the boat. Now, we're going to talk about two different types of Sterndrive applications. This one here has what's called the Volvo dual prop. We're also going to talk about the forward drive. But for general speaking terms, a Sterndrive boat or an IO, the motor is going to be mounted inside the boat, the drive is going to be underneath the boat, and our swim platform and sun pad area will be wide open and very user-friendly. So continuing on with the Sterndrive version, you have the drive. Now the drive you can see is mounted to the transom. The drive is mounted internally to the engine, which gives the propulsion to the props. Now you'll notice how the drive is in the water. It's underneath your swim platform. When the drive is down, which this one's not all the way down, but when it is all the way down, in a lot of boats, commonly, it will be underneath the platform. So if your kids are jumping off the back of the boat, commonly you don't have to worry about them landing on the drive. Certainly not like an outboard boat where the motor is physically exposed. Now with that being said, Volvo has another option, and so does Mercury, and we're going to take a look at that as well. So what do we have here? We have the same concept in a different version. This here is called the forward drive. Now the forward drive is again a Sterndrive or IO product, but where are we going to find it? Commonly on boats that say surf on them, because to make it so you can surf safely, we want the props under the boat. When this motor is trimmed all the way down, the props are physically under the boat, and that allows you to do water sports on the back of the boat even safer. It's never 100% safe, anything can happen, but it does make it much safer. Now you might ask, what are some other benefits to this forward drive? I can tell you firsthand, when you put the props forward in front of the lower unit and those props are going through undisturbed water, the amount of torque you get is incredible. It also gives you great controllability, it improves your fuel efficiency, does a lot of great things. But with that, going with a forward drive setup is going to be a little more money, and it's definitely not going to be something that changes the characteristics of how the boat drives or handles. If we put the average consumer on a Sterndrive boat with a forward drive or a dual prop drive like the one I just showed you, the average customer probably couldn't tell the difference. But at the end of the day, the forward drive is a great setup, especially if you're into water sports and you're into surfing, certainly something to consider. But it, again, a different setup on a Sterndrive. All right, so we've talked about outboard power, we talked about Sterndrive or inboard outboard power. Now we're going to talk about inboard power. Now I don't have a Centurion, Mastercraft, Malibu inside the showroom to be able to show you a true inboard in a ski boat, or if we were talking larger cruisers, bigger Sea Rays and Carvers and cruisers yachts, a lot of them are going to have straight inboards. But what we're going to look at today is a Yamaha. And the Yamaha concept is truly a true inboard, and we're going to show you why. So looking at an inboard engine, we would think this is a lot like a Sterndrive, and with modern day V-drive technology and things to that effect, a lot of people would almost misrepresent or misthink that an inboard boat could be a Sterndrive boat if they didn't know what they were looking at. But with this being said, an inboard boat, we have the engine inside the boat. Inboard. Now from there, what makes it a true inboard is that on the back of the engine there is a shaft. That shaft goes right to the propeller. That propeller then pushes the water out of the boat, or propels you, if you will. With that, there are a couple of different styles of inboard boats. The one we're looking at today is a jet boat, where that propeller is in a housing. That housing then creates pressure and pushes the boat down the river or the lake. A true inboard, the prop would just be directly underneath the boat, and as you give it gas, the prop spins, grabs water, and away you go. So we'll show you a little bit more on this concept here as well. So since the inboard power we're looking at today is a Yamaha, we are going to be able to look down the cleanout port, and there you can see it. That is down there, the shaft. That shaft goes right to the engine. So unlike some inboard power plant boats that are going to have a transmission or a V-drive, this does not. The shaft goes right to the engine, so definitely nice from a reliability standpoint. From there, let's see if we can show you where the prop is. So if we were to go right into the back of the boat, right in through there, and it's going to be very, very hard to see, I'm guessing, but the prop is tucked right back in there. So the benefits to that, obviously if you're doing water sports or anything to that effect, you don't have to worry about your kids kicking their foot on the prop or anything to that effect. It's awfully nice that way. You also get very shallow draft. You're going to notice how with that prop being in there, the draft of the boat is significantly less than if it was sticking out the bottom of the boat. So that's very nice as well for going through shallow water or going to the beach. Simplicity is number one, along with the performance and the efficiency. But that there kind of describes the inboard idea or inboard power plant. So that explains a little bit about marine propulsion. I know I missed a lot of things. You can dive as deep as you want into certain variations of everything. We talk a lot to customers about Volvo IPS or Mercruiser Zeus, things to that effect. But there's a lot of different propulsion systems, but the common ones you're gonna see is outboard power, sterndrive power, inboard power. Those really become kind of the common grounds in the powerboat world. With that being said, I'd be glad to talk to anyone about boats, about power, about what's the best choice for how you're gonna go boating. There's not a right or wrong answer. It really comes down to where do you boat and how are you gonna use your boat. Small things like that are gonna make the difference to making the right decision on what power plant you have in your boat. So I appreciate you taking the time today to look at some boat power plants, learn a little bit about them. I know this is just a boating 101 type video, but we got to start somewhere. So again, I'm Zach at River Valley Marine here in Red Wing, Minnesota. I appreciate you taking the time to view our video, and we hope you got something out of it.